Yeah. So good morning to one and all. So today we will discuss a topic that is a Engel function. Okay. So generally, the Engel function you might have studied in macroeconomics when you were studying in second semester or first semester. Okay. For example, here when you are studying a Engel function, how we can apply this kind of functions? How we can apply in economics? How we can apply in our economics? How we can derive that slopes or elasticities by employing a mathematical and statistical models, that is called, we can say, econometrics models. Before knowing the econometrics models and how we can apply these models, first we will come to know that what is meant by Engel function. What is meant by Engel function? So here simple, the Engel function refers the relationship between total consumption expenditure and expenditure on specific commodity. Simple here, the Engel function refers the relationship between total expenditure EXPD and total expenditure and specific expenditure on specific item expenditure on specific item. It means, for example, when you're spending some amount of money, for example, what is your expenditure? Let me know first. So generally, household expenditure. For example, if you take your family expenditure, so your family expenditure may be on rice, okay, on vegetables, alcohol, okay, and other traditional customs, TNC, and others. For example, if you take others, etc. So this is the total expenditure. For example, if you take rice consumption per month is 1,000 rupees. For example, vegetable is 300 500 rupees per month. Alcohol will be 700 per month. For example, traditional customs. For example, for festivals. For example, average we can take 500. Others it may be 300. For example, okay. So how much total your expenditure? 15, 2,000, 3,000, right? This is a total expenditure. So here the Engel function shows that relationship between total expenditure and expenditure on specific item. Specific item, nothing but, so this is a total expenditure. If you want to know that what is the relationship between this total expenditure and a specific item, if you take alcohol or rice or vegetable, anything, this is called total expenditure. 300 versus simple, we can say that alcohol, for example, okay, or rice, the total expenditure and alcohol expenditure. So that is a Engel function. So Engel function shows, again I'm repeating, say Engel function shows the relationship between total consumption expenditure, total expenditure and expenditure on specific item at a point of time, at a point of time across the sample households, known as a Engel function. For example, when you're going to do a research, for example, you want to know that your research objective is to know that, or to examine the impact of alcohol expenditure on total expenditure of households in particular district or state, for example, Telangana state. So this is your objective. The objective is to examine the impact of alcohol expenditure on total expenditure. See, it's nothing but here. So here the total expenditure is a dependent variable. The function of the alcohol expenditure is a independent variable. Because see, when your alcohol expenditure increases, the total expenditure also increases, right? So for example, when you increase the total expenditure, it cannot increase the alcohol expenditure. See, you need to understand cause and effect relationship, which is cause, which is effect, which is dependent variable, which is independent variable. Therefore, so this is the Engel function. Have you understood? Please let me know. Navanita, Maheshwari,
Okay,
Manoj,
sir.
yes, Manoj, Navanita. Yeah. So this is Engel function. So here Generally, we can write like this: total expenditure is a function of expenditure item. So generally in angle functions, we can write total expenditure. EXP, nothing but expenditure is a function of expenditure on item. I think about special item or any item. Item in the sense, we have taken alcohol. So instead of alcohol, you can take rice, you can take vegetables, you can take others. Okay, so this is the angle function. So how we can write mathematically or statistically? So this is y is a function of x, right? Y is a function of x. Y is called total expenditure. X is called expenditure on specific item. It is called dependent variable. It is called independent variable, right? So here, what you are going to study when you are employing, when you take the data, for example, if you have the data on y and x. For example, please respond, Amma. What is your total expenditure per month in your home?
Different houses, different houses, sir.
No. I am as example you can give. For example, I am saying, what is the total expenditure?
5,000.
5,000.
10,000.
Okay. Saraswati, yeah. Saraswati expenditure is 10,000. Maheshwari, your total expense is 5,000. How much your family can spend on alcohol?
Maybe 4,000.
1,500.
Yeah. Saraswati, your
Maybe
expenditure.
2,000, 4,000.
Anything you can say, not 2,000, not 4,000.
Okay, 4,000, sir. 4,000.
So here, after taking this data, see, so this is the data when you are going to collect the information through primary data. This is a cross-section data, right? So for example, household number 1, household number 2, household number 3, like that. So how many sample size you need, you can select. Okay, you can take their total expenditure, you can take their expenditure in specific item. It may be alcohol, it may be food, it may be or other non-food consumption, or if you take alcohol or vegetables or any item or ice creams, you can take anything, right? So when you have the data like this y and x, so you are going to know that, so that is a rate of change in y due to change in x. Nothing but here when you are studying functions, y is function of x. So for example, when you have study mathematics, 2x square plus 4x plus 2, this is one of the function. Okay, so it may be non-linear because the power value is more, right? So when we have the linear, so we have done derivatives, nothing but dou y by dou x, because y with respect to x, y with respect to
X.
x. So
X.
dou y by dou x, dou y with nothing but rate of change in y due to change in x. Rate of change in y due to change in x. It means see. Please, Navanita, please unmute. Yeah. So here, dou y by dou x, dou y by dou x. What it means? What it means? Rate of change in y. It means y is nothing but total expenditure. Y due to changes in x. The x is nothing but alcohol expenditure. For example, what are the changes in y due to changes in alcohol expenditure? Only we are assuming only two variables. So we are keeping other variables are constant. Okay. So please keep in mind. So we can say that is a change in y due to change in x. Change in y due to change in x. So y means here rate of change means. So we are mentioning the rate. How much rate changes in y? That is the total expenditure due to change in x. For example, if you take the data. So here, when you are going to study slope, generally we can use MPC, marginal purpose to consume, nothing but delta C by delta Y with respect to consumption, with respect to income. So how much changes in consumption due to change in income? So when income lo marpu vachinappudu maatrame valli consumption lo marpu vastundi. When income increases, the consumption increases probably. Okay. So when your income increases from 100 to, for example, when your income is 100, your consumption is 80 rupees. When your income increases from 150 to 100 to 150, your consumption may increase by 100 rupees. What is the slope? Delta C by delta Y. What is the changes in consumption is 20 by changes in income is 50. So therefore, how much it comes? 2 by 5. Nothing but 0.4. 0.4. Nothing but, see, there is a 40% change. Well, not 40% rate. Okay. So here it means we can conclude the rate of change in Y due to change in X. Okay. So we can find out the derivative. So generally we can use this terminology in the marginal effect. Marginal effect. That is called slope or coefficient. We can say coefficient. That is called, so here we can say delta Y by delta X. Delta X, Y is nothing but, here, see, remember, this Y is income, this Y is consumption. This Y is called total expenditure. Total expenditure. This X is called expenditure on specific item or item. Remember, this is a dependent variable, this is a independent variable. Changes in dependent variable by changes in independent variable. Here consumption is a dependent variable, here income is a independent variable. So therefore, the C and Y. Okay. So don't confuse, marginal effect is nothing but delta Y by delta X. Delta Y by delta X. So this is the brief introduction of the Engel function. So this is the Engel function. Who was given this Engel function? I think you might have known that when you were studying that Engel function in the macroeconomics. So here the law was named after the statistician Ernst Engel. Ernst Engel. So in 1821, 1996. So the Engel, who is the author of, who was proposed this theory, Engel consumption function, that is by Engel. So Engel is one of the name. So who was proposed, developed this theory, Engel consumption function. So on his name only the theory was developed, right? So here the Ernst Engel was introduced to this Engel consumption function. Engel consumption function. So as per that Engel, so there are three types of laws. As per Engel, there are three types or three laws or three laws. So instead of types, we can write laws. Okay. So here, the first one is a first law. Simple. Second law. Then third one is the third law. Let me discuss what is meant by first law, what is meant by second law, what is meant by third law. So here, first we will discuss first law. First law. So what is meant by first law? So here, according to Engel's first law, okay, Engel first law. According to Engel first law, the proportion of total expenditure, you can write the proportion of total expenditure incurred on food items declines as total expenditure see the proportion of total expenditure incurred, nothing but incurred on food items declines as total expenditure. So which is a proxy for income. So here the total expenditure nothing but simple we can say that which is a proxy variable, which is a proxy for income. Sorry, total expenditure goes on increasing. So here see, as per the first law, the proportion of total expenditure incurred on food items, nothing but the proportion of total expenditure on food items decline as total expenditure is increasing. Means simple we can say that as total expenditure increase, the expenditure on food items decreases. Simple. For example, when here the total expenditure is nothing but is a proxy for income. When your income is increases, you are going to spend nothing but you are going to spend less amount on food items. Your food items. See, as income increases, their expenditure on food will be decreases. Food on decreases. So there is a inverse relationship between these two as per the first law of Engel function. Have you understood? Please. Hello?
Sir, explain
Yes,
one.
sir.
See here, as per Engel first law, the proportion of total expenditure incurred on food expenditure, nothing but food items, declines as expenditure goes on increase. Nothing but when your total expenditure increases, your expenditure on food items will be decreases. Generally, you can take, for example, when you are spending more amount on, for example, when your income increases, simple, will you spend more money on food items?
Yes, sir.
Say, when you take, for example, when your income increases, you will spend less amount. Nothing but the proportion will be decreases because you are going to concentrate on luxury items. It means TV or
Yes,
sofas
sir.
or bikes or car or etc. Nothing but the proportion will be changes. It means the expenditure may not decrease. That proportion. Nothing but the proportion between the dependent and independent. Sorry, food and non-food. Saraswati, please unmute. Please.
Yes, sir.
So the here I mentioned already proportion. It means that the proportion here I mentioned clearly proportion. It means for example, I'm going to give for example when you get income is 10,000 rupees. So how much consumption on food items out of 10,000? Your income is 10,000. Okay. So how much you are going to spend?
2,000.
2,000 for food. Okay. Remaining 8,000 for
Yes,
others.
sir.
Right. When
Yes,
your
sir.
income is increases 20,000, how much you are going to spend money on food items?
Same, sir.
Yes, same. Then here
Same.
remaining 18,000.
Like, okay.
For example, when you are increasing your income, the food, the proportion I have mentioned, the proportion of total expenditure on incurred on food items declines as total expenditure is goes on increases. Nothing but when your income increases, you are going to spend less amount. Nothing less amount in the sense, nothing but the proportion. See, the proportion is different from year and year. See, 2,000 you earlier spent, 8,000 for other items, for other non-food items. Here, non-food. Here only food items. So here, how much proportion is there? Let me know. Yes, please. 1:4.
Sir?
Am I right? 1:4.
Yes, sir.
Yes. For example, if you spend when your income is 20,000, you are going to spend only 2,000 for food, and non-food is 18,000. What is the ratio?
1:9.
1:9.
9.
See, the proportion has been decreases. For example, here the proportion is not decreased. For example, when you compare this one, so as it is, for example, 1/4 we spend for the food. But here, whereas when you are getting 20,000, we should have to spend at least, that is how much? 5,000. Am I right?
Yes, sir, of
Right?
course.
So the proportion has been decreases as per the Engel's first law. For example, when you apply in your own also, nothing but in your family also, the rate of the proportion will be decreases when your income is increasing. Nothing but you are going to spend for luxury items, the TV or sofa or a car or bike or etc. So this is the first law. Have you understood, please?
Yes, sir.
Right? For example, here, how we are going to measure that slope? See, as I mentioned, that is delta y by delta x. Here, y is nothing but dependent variable. As I mentioned, there is a total expenditure, which is a proxy for income. This is for income. So here, it means a change in income is higher than change in
Expenditure.
change in food expenditure. Or else, if you have any doubt, change in total expenditure you can mention here. Instead of income, you can put change in total expenditure. For example, as we are taken 2,000, 8,000, right? And 2,000, 18,000, right? See, when you change, for example, here the total expenditure. For example, here how much changes and how much changes here, right? So here, when you take the data like this, your income also here 10 and 20,000. If you take, okay, or else if you take income also, no problem. For example, instead of taking 10,000, 8,000, 18,000, you will take 10,000. When your income is 10,000, you spend for food items 2,000. When your income is 20,000, you spend 2,000 only. So here, how much change is there in income?
10,000.
10,000 by change in x,
Mm,
zero.
Same, yes, 0.
0. But it may be, for example, as you told, because if you take 3,000, no problem. So it may take, for example, 1,000. Whatever you get the data, I put it to 0. For example, when your income is 10,000, if you spend for food item 3,000, okay. When your income is 20,000, if you spend 3,000, so I have taken this 3,000, for example. Yeah, 10,000 by 1,000. How much it will be there? 10. Nothing but see, the change in income is higher than the change in food expenditure. Nothing but change in total expenditure is higher than the change in food expenditure. Simple. I hope you understood. You are there? Yeah.
Yes,
Monica,
sir.
come up. Sahid, Sahid, are you there?
Got it, sir.
Then I will discuss the second order. Sorry, second law. Second law. So here, Engel's second law. Engel's second law. What it says? What second law says? So here, as per the second law, the proportion of total expenditure, EXPD, total expenditure on clothing and housing will be approximately constant the increasing total expenditure. Rasti, please unmute. Then, yeah. See, as per second law, what he was stated. So here, the proportion of total expenditure on clothing and housing, proportion of total expenditure on clothing and housing will be approximately constant with increasing the total expenditure. For example, when we are spending some amount of money, so we will spend some amount of money for clothing as well as food or housing, right? So here, as the total expenditure increases, the expenditure on cloth and house increases. Generally, when your income increases, you are going to spend more money on cloth and housing, right? But here, see, the proportion of total expenditure on clothing and housing will be approximately constant. It means that, for example, when your income increases, for example, 10,000 to 20,000. So, for example, instead of taking like this, we should take like this also. No problem. Just a minute. Yeah. For example, this is your income, this is expenditure on cloth and housing, for example. See, for example, when your income is 10,000 rupees, how much will you spend for that cloth and expenditure, housing? For example, you can take an example. For example, you may spend 5,000 rupees, for example. When your income is 10,000. When your income is double, for example, if you take 20,000, for example, I'm assuming. So probably you are going to spend more, nothing but 10,000 on clothing as well as housing. For example, see, when your income is less, you may live in one single bedroom and you will spend some amount of money for the clothing. When your income is double, you may prefer to live in 2 BHK, then 2 BHK rent will be high. At the same time, when your income increases, you need to purchase a good clothes, nothing but nothing but good dresses which are high value. Am I right? So here the proportion is same. Nothing but here 50% changes here and 50% changes here. Right? So change is here 10,000 and changes in 5,000. Okay. So here 50% changes here, 50% changes here. Like this, as your income increases, the expenditure on clothing also increases. But approximately it may be same. Approximately, not same. As I told you that they should be not constant, but approximately. Sometimes, see, I'm going to see. So as I given here, exact. For example, I'm going to give another example. Why and consumption on cloth and housing. For example, if you take another data, for example, your income is 10,000. So, Sahid, how much you are going to spend for the cloth as well as housing? Combine. Sahid.
Sir,
Yeah, when your income is 10,000, how much you are ready to spend some amount of money on cloth as well as housing?
probably yes, the same 5,000.
5,000, for example. When your income is double, how much you are going to spend on cloth as well as housing?
12,000.
Right. See here, the changes in income is 10,000, right? Here changes in income is 7,000. See here we can compare that. See, how much changes in consumption? 700. How much changes in consumption? 10,000. Sorry, 7,000. Right. See here, the proportion is not same here and here. Earlier it was proportion is same. Am I right? 50%, 50%. For example, if you take here,
Yes.
right, 7,000, 10,000. It is not the same proportion. Am I right? Here, it may be increased by more. It may be increased by only 50%. For example, if you take dou y by dou c. So what is dou y by dou c? Your consumption is 7,000 by 10,000. Right? So 7 by 10. How much will you get it? 0.7. Right? Hello. Here, if you take earlier 5,000 by 5,000. Sorry, 10,000. Okay. So 1 by 2 is equal 0.5. Here same proportion, whereas here not same proportion, but approximately more or less same. For example, sometimes Sahaya has spent 12,000. Some people have spent only 11,000. Some people may spend only 9,000 also when your income is double. Am I right, Sahaya? Because the person to person, the consumption level is different from person to person, household to household. I think I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yeah. Then third law. So according to Engels third law. So according to this third law, the proportion of total expenditure spends on recreations goes on increasing with increase in total expenditure. So as per third law, what the law says, see, the proportion of total expenditure spends on recreations. What is recreation? For example, see, generally when your income is increases, you are going to spend more money on recreational assets. For example, land. If you take real estate, if you want to purchase a new house, when you have the old house, you will go to purchase new house. Nothing but which can be recreation, nothing but which will be generate income. For example, if you purchase the land, it will create money. Nothing but the land, the money will be doubled within 1 year, 2 years, right? So see, simple, when your income increases, you are going to spend more money on recreational assets. Nothing but which will be recreate the money. Nothing but, for example, if you spend land or 1 acre, 2 acre, after 2 years, it will be double will be money. Money will be doubled. For example, if you purchase house also, which will be recreate. For example, if you spend 20 lakhs, if you purchase one house, it will get money. Nothing but on the basis of rent, you will get money. It means that when you are purchasing a new house, which will give you the money, nothing but you will take rents. Have you understood? So here, what I want to say here, the proportion of total expenditure spends on increasing, goes on increasing your total expenditure. Simple here, as your total expenditure increases, for example, if you take total expenditure increases, the expenditure on assets, we can say assets, simple, which assets are recreation. For example, if you purchase a assets which cannot recreation, nothing but which cannot get money. Simple, whatever we have spent some money on assets which can be recreation, but which will be give money more and more within stipulated time. So that is, as total expenditure increases, the expenditure on recreations will also increases. Have you understood? Say, you can understand the difference between the three laws. The first law, as income increases, the expenditure on food decreases. Simple, you can remember. Say in the second one, as income increases, okay, the expenditure on cloth and housing will be constant or approximately same. Simple. Third one, as income increases, the expenditure on recreation increases. Simple, you remember, decreasing, constant, increasing. Have you understood, please? Hello?
హలో
Yes,
సార్
sir.
అర్థమైందా? The three laws critically.
అర్థమైంది సార్.
Time is going to end. So if anybody didn't understand, let me know. Yes, please.
క్లియర్ ఉంది కదా సార్